What should the Chicago Bulls do with the number 4 overall pick? That is what I'm here to discuss. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA, and here to talk about the Chicago Bulls. So if you're new to the channel and you're a Bulls fan and you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing. You need to subscribe because I'm bringing you the latest and greatest with the Bulls. And if you're not following me on my social media, again, what are you doing? Follow me on there. Links is as always below for my Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. So what should the Bulls do now that we know they have the number 4 overall pick? Okay, and you're thinking, Faiz, what do you mean what should they do? They should draft a player at number 4. No, that's not exactly what I mean. There's options besides just drafting somebody and keeping that pick at number 4. So let's talk about those options, and let's talk about what I think the Bulls should do and what I think they will do. So let's get into it. So as we all know by now, I hope we all know by now, the Bulls have the number 4 overall pick. If you don't know, I made my quick thoughts and reaction videos to that. You guys check out my recent videos on that. But the Bulls have the number 4 overall pick in this year's NBA draft, okay? And they got lucky. They moved up, right? They were supposed to get the 7th pick again for the millionth time. And thanks to the good luck of our new front office executive, aka Arturas Karnisovas, also known as AK, we got the number 4 overall pick. So what should the Bulls do now at that 4 pick, right? Who should they draft, or should they even draft somebody or do something else? And here's basically where I'm at. They've got 3 options to me. Okay, there's 3 options the Bulls have with the number 4 overall pick. Either you keep it and you draft somebody, you trade up, or you trade down. That's basically all you can do at that pick, or pretty much at any pick. But for the Bulls specifically, which of those 3 options should they do? Now, you might be thinking, Faiz, why are we even thinking about trading up or trading down? I'm not saying they are. I'm saying these are the options. And here is why. So let's talk about trading up. You trade up usually when you are sold on a player and you know that is the guy you want, and it's going to cost you a pretty penny. Okay, and there's a rumor out there that I've seen. Again, it's just a rumor, so don't think it's anything factual in terms of it actually happening. But a rumor out there is the Warriors, who have the number 2 overall pick, the Bulls would trade with them and give up the 4th pick that the Bulls have and Wendell Carter Jr. for the number 2 overall pick. Now, again, you might think, why would they do that? Well, if there's a player at number 2 that they know won't make it to them at 4, then they want to move up, and they're willing to give up the starting center in Wendell Carter Jr. to make it happen. So that's why I say, right, it's going to cost you a pretty penny, so you better be sold on the player. And in this draft, there is not, I've said this plenty of times, there is not that consensus number 1 can't miss prospect. I'm not saying these guys can't turn out to be very good NBA players, but I'm just saying as of right now, there is not a consensus guy. I mean, Anthony Edwards is getting kind of close to it, I guess, but there's not the, main Anthony Davis, Zion Williamson, Blake Griffin, number 1 for sure pick guy in this draft. So it makes it a little difficult, right, to move up. But if AK is sold on a guy that he wants, and he wants him no matter what, then he will trade up. Now let's talk about the other scenario, trading down. Why would you trade down? Well, you trade down specifically because of what I just said. You're not sold on anybody. So the opposite of the first scenario, you're just not sold on anybody. And so you want to trade down and get more depth instead of having a higher pick. And in this scenario, obviously, you are going to get possibly more players and more picks because of moving down. And it allows you to build a more well-rounded team. Okay, but again, you miss out on a potential can't miss prospect if that happens to be the guy. But again, in this draft, it doesn't seem like there's one. So those are the trade up, trade down scenarios. And then, of course, you have the simple keep the pick and draft somebody, right? Well, as of right now, if we go that route, I mean, the top 4 or 5 players in this draft, I haven't watched tape yet. So you guys have to wait until I do my full analysis, watch tape, and I'll come out with that. Hopefully soon. The draft is until October. So we've got a little bit of time, and they might push that draft back too. We don't know yet. So the date is not set in stone. But we've got the draft, and so I have not watched tape or anything, but off of the mock drafts that I've seen, it looks like Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Obi Toppin, Devi Avdija. I'm just going to call him Devi, who is the EuroLeague player from Maccabi Tel Aviv. These are like the top prospects in the draft. So it could be one of those guys, right? The Bulls could draft James Wiseman. I forgot him, by the way, as well, the big man out of Memphis. And so, potentially it could be one of these guys the Bulls could draft. What do I think they should do? If by draft time you are not sold on somebody and think that you can get them at number 4, I would not mind trading down and getting more depth on this roster. Because, again, the problem with this draft is I just don't know if I see the can't-miss guy. And I want to have that guy if I'm picking this high, right? What's the point of picking this high if you, aren't getting the guy that you want? So if you're not sold on anybody, I would trade down. I honestly would, and get a lot of good players and picks potentially from whatever team you trade with. And we've seen before, you can find so many gems in the bottom half of the lottery. I'm not saying trade all the way out, to like the 20th or 30th pick. I'm talking about just the bottom of the lottery if you need to. So the lottery is all the way to the 14th pick. So what if you get and trade away the 4th pick for, let's say, the 5th pick, the 10th pick, the 6th pick and the 11th pick, like you get multiple picks and a player, that could obviously be very beneficial. And now maybe you take those players or the picks and you flip them for a star. Again, so many things you can do. You take a look at a team like the Warriors. The Warriors with the number 2 overall pick, I think they're trading that pick no matter what, okay? There's a very minuscule chance that they keep that pick because you got a championship-ready team and you want to bring in a rookie. Just trade that pick for a star. Maybe go after like a Bradley Beal if the Wizards decide they want to rebuild, and trade the number 2 pick for Bradley Beal. So, again, these are the type of things that good, smart franchises do. So, again, my thought process is this. If by draft time you are not sold on anybody, trade down. But if you are sold and that's the guy, go ahead and, keep the pick. The only problem I have with trading up and why I hesitate towards it is because obviously it didn't work out that well for the Bears with regards to, passing and trading up for Mitch Trubisky and passing on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. But we don't want to talk about that. The only problem I have with trading up is you got to give up so much to trade up, and you better be damn sure that's the guy. So whoever it is, if you want to trade up for him, you better be sold, and he better be the guy, or else you're going to get criticized like crazy. Okay, so that's the only issue I have with trading up. So for me, keep the pick or you trade down. More than likely, I do see AK keeping the pick because I do think the impact players that are in this draft, you probably get them in the top 5. I think after the top 5, it becomes very difficult. So to me, in terms of what I think the Bulls should do, like I said, trade down if you're not sold, but keep the pick. And what I think they will do, I do think they will keep the pick. That is my gut feeling right now. But again, I will let you guys know if that changes. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.